Hi, welcome to Grief Inspired. My name is Catherine, and I'm on a mission to help break down the walls of silence around grief. And the way to do that is change our mindset around the experience of grief. So, being in the presence of another person can really be uncertain and cause fear. Grief is messy, grief is uncertain, it's uncomfortable. And the only natural thing for most of us to do is to avoid it. So here's typically what happens when someone you love loses someone. First, you hear that the loss has occurred, and this is what we call the initial shock. You feel for that person, your heart goes out to them, and you know that you have to do something, so you're compelled to action. You're likely to send a card or a flower, or even better, a plant. You'll attend the funeral. And once you've made it through the funeral and you go back to your life, you know that you've contributed to that person, and then we feel like we're free to move on. Now, the problem lies in what happens next. You go back to your life, but the person that's left with the loss still is grieving. For them, the experience has only just begun. So what do? We avoid. We know that they're still hurting. We want to do something, but we don't know what to do. And this avoidance is what I call the silence of grief. Now, I had a premature son who lived for 6 weeks and then passed away. It was really uncomfortable for all of the people around me, and honestly, it was even uncomfortable for me. It was a tragedy. It happened. There isn't anything that we can do about it. So I also expected that some of the people who would show up and support me really didn't. And it's not because they didn't want to. They loved me and they wanted to help. They just didn't know how. So what that does is, for the person who's experiencing the grief, it can be really isolating. It can deepen the sadness that they're feeling, the pain that they're feeling, and leave them feeling alone in their grief. So not only do they need to worry about the loss and that experience, but they also have to worry about feeling so isolated and so alone. So what I want to do is change all of this, and honestly, it is simpler than we think. All it takes is courage. Courage to show up, go knock on the other person's door, and say, I'm not 100% how I should do this, what I should say, but right now I want to choose to be here for you, and I want to listen. That's it. That's all you really need to do. It's simple, but it's scary, and it can be even for me. And avoidance of the entire process is completely natural. Now, in future videos, I'll discuss more things that you can do to support people who are grieving. I'm purposefully not including them here now because I want to invite you and challenge you to reach out today to someone that you know who has experienced a loss within the last year. If it's within a year, I promise you that the people are still grieving. They still think about the person that they've lost every single day. It hasn't gone away. So I want you to be courageous. I want you to reach out to them. Go visit them, call them, email them, let them know that you care. That's all it takes. It isn't hard, but it does take courage. Now, as you're reaching out and it starts to feel really uncomfortable, which it will, share with them that you are feeling uneasy and that you aren't sure what to do or what to say, but that you do want to be there for them and that you are willing to listen. Be courageous. Reach out today. I can promise you that by reaching out and connecting with them, you're easing their pain and helping to dissolve the isolation that they may be feeling. You're also helping to support me and my mission, break down the walls of silence around grief. Now, as you reach out to others, share your experience on my Facebook group or my Twitter feed. Both you can find by searching for Grief Inspired. I want to thank you for helping me on my mission. and I look forward to hearing how things went for you. From my heart to yours, my name's Catherine, and this is Grieve Inspired.